Hey everybody, Joe Joseph here for thedailySheeple.com, and this is your news shot. I'm going to go to shtfplan.com where Max Slavo is saying Yellowstone supervolcano, why we may have far less advance warning time than we actually thought. See, all of this Darwinian millions and billions and trillions and cajillions of years and everything else is all starting to unravel and fall apart, okay? It's very interesting when you take a look at events that have happened even in recent history. It gives us a snapshot of how the Earth, how our environment, how the construct itself, the universe, actually operates. You know, CERN, the large atom smasher out in Switzerland and France, right on the border, has really given us a lot of keen insight into how things operate. We've learned more from that machine about quantum mechanics, quantum physics, and how things operate than ever before. And this new study done on ancient volcanic ash has revealed that we may experience an eruption of Yellowstone even sooner than previously warned. And that scientists are also concerned that we probably will have much less advanced warning than we thought before. According to National Geographic, we may have mere decades before Yellowstone erupts. If the supervolcano underneath Yellowstone National Park erupts again, we could have far less time to prepare than originally thought. And after analyzing minerals in fossilized ash from the most recent mega eruption, researchers at Arizona State University think that the supervolcano last woke up after two influxes of fresh magma flowed into the reservoir beneath and below the caldera. Now, the paper adds that to the lengthening list of surprises scientists have uncovered over the last years as they've continued to study and closely monitor the supervolcano. Listen to this. A 2013 study, for instance, showed that the magma reservoir that feeds the supervolcano is actually about 2.5 times larger than previous estimates. Scientists also think that the reservoir is drained after every monster blast. Well, do you think? It's not just going to stay there. Where do you think? What causes the blast? Where's the magma come from? And I mean, I would have to think that it's a finite resource that after the chamber is drained, why, the eruption stops. That's what our money gives us today, right? These people, they go there, they do the study. Why? When the volcano erupts, all the lava flows out of the chamber. Thank you very much. Yes. Quote, it's shocking how little time is required to take a volcanic system from being quiet and sitting there to the edge of an eruption, the study co-author Hannah Shamloo told the New York Times. But scientists insist that this may seem scary. However, hey, it may still be a little while before that eruption occurs. Let me give you the translation of that. The translation of that is, we have no idea what the hell we're doing. We have no idea what we're looking at. And we're just going to give you something that's going to give you a warm fuzzy to think that everything's A-okay. When in reality, they will never tell you that there is a threat. Why? What would happen? Cats sleep with dogs. Next thing you know, it's just going to be mass chaos. Everybody's going to be killing each other. It's just going to be absolute mayhem. Come on. Let's be real. If a Yellowstone eruption occurs, the only thing that you can do would be to move to the southern hemisphere. That's really the only thing, the option that you're going to have, is start going south and go south fast when you hear that. Don't pass go. Do not collect $200. You're going straight down, and that's the only way that you might survive, even but for a short time. The question that you would have to ask yourself is, do you want to survive something like that after it goes and it devastates the planet? Because an eruption that large from a volcano that big will most certainly plunge at least the northern hemisphere, if not the entire planet, into what one refers to as a nuclear winter, which I would rather call it a volcanic winter because it has nothing to do with nuclear. Now, based on fossil deposits, scientists believe that the supervolcano has seen at least 2 other eruptions on the scale of one that happened 630,000 years ago, where it spewed forth 240 cubic miles worth of rock and ash. That's an amazing amount of rock and ash and magma. Now, Yellowstone, of course, is one of the best monitored volcanoes in the world, noted Michael Poland, the current scientist in charge of the Yellowstone Volcano Observatory for the U.S. Geological Survey. Says a variety of sensors and satellites are always looking for changes, and right now, the supervolcano does not seem to pose a threat. They don't know that it could pose a threat, and they probably couldn't identify it if it did because they don't know what they're looking at. Let's be real. I'll give you an example. A lot of people say that the Grand Canyon was carved out over millions of years, right? Oh, millions of years. The Colorado River carved out the Grand Canyon, by God, and look at what we have now. No, that's not what happened. And I'll give you an example of that. Look no further than Mount St. Helens up in Washington, where in 1980, it was Mount St. Helens and a lush forest that surrounded Mount St. Helens. It was a beautiful place, absolutely gorgeous place. Mount St. Helens blows, it blows its top off, and the surrounding forest is leveled and covered in tens, even hundreds of feet of ash and rock and magma. And what it looks like now around Mount St. Helens is a mini version of the Grand Canyon. Folks, it happened in hours. In hours. Something that if we went by mainstream typical science baloney and they didn't know that Mount St. Helens had erupted and they were just strictly using their scientific, I wish I could call it a method, scientific tomfoolery, if you will, what they would come to find out is, after their deep research into it, is that, why, this happened 700,000 years ago, and it took, millions of years for it to happen. When in reality, that's not it. That's not what happened at all. And we have footage of it. And we can see what happened. Water and magma, the earth itself, is very powerful and can change at the drop of a hat. Fact is, these scientists don't know what they're doing. They don't know what they're looking at because they themselves buy into the dogma of science, much like people buy into the dogma of organized religion. It's the same thing, and it's all centered around money, prosperity, and longevity in one's job. That's really all it's about. Outside of that, it's all quackery. I'm Joe Joseph. This was thedailysheeple.com's News Shot. Feel free to comment below and visit our website at thedailysheeple.com. Have a great day, everybody.